Thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching Signature Morning on Signature TV, and we're moving on, still on the issue of the Rivers State cessation of state of emergency and Governor Fubara coming back into office. Now, joining us via Zoom this morning is Professor Benjamin Okaba. He's the president, Ijaw National Congress. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's my pleasure to be with you once more.
All right. Now, in your view, what does Governor Fubara's return symbolize for River State politics? How do you feel about it? What's your take on the unfolding events?
Well, I think it signals the enthronement of normalcy. Yes, it says that no matter how long evil prevails, good will always win. So for me, it's a victory for democracy. You can see that the indigenes and citizens of River State, indigenes and residents of River State are very, very happy that their governor, who is so loved, is back. For them, it's liberation from the shackles of backwardness, from disillusion. For them, God has answered their prayers. Yes, it tarried for so long, often now, often. It tarried for so long, but at the end of the day, God has answered their prayers, and their governor is back. There are high expectations that it will speed up development and reconciliation of the Rivers people. In the next 2 years that still remaining, he will do a lot, and God will help him to actualize the dreams of the people. Thank you.
All right, thank you. As a River State holder and a Ijaw leader, how did the emergency rule affect the Ijaw people and their communities?
Emergency rule introduced a lot of losses, so significant in terms of governorship or governance and representation, losses of jobs, losses in terms of good quality representation, losses again in terms of sanitation, economic and all that. For instance, under the sole administrator, it was just a one-man show. There were no inputs, so that affected public accountability. Also, because sole administrators were appointed across the local government areas, the same issue of unrepresentation, even at the grassroots, talking about involvement or participation of the citizens in governance, the basic principles of democracy, were all badly affected. People were disenfranchised, people were disillusioned, people were not seem to be part of their own development, which is the essence of elections that were held. Then talking about infrastructure development, there were two major projects: the Trans-Calabari Road project, the Ring Road project, and this other buried, I think, about 194 million, 95 million naira billion projects, sorry, so to speak. They were all altered, and that has affected transportation. Port Harcourt was known as the Garden City. Within this period, we saw a lot of garbage littered across, and that has actually affected the life of the people. So, yes, because as House of Assembly members were dropped, all were suspended, deputy governor suspended. A lot of people, politicians that were appointed by the governor himself prior to the emergency rule, lost their jobs. In fact, we have on record that about 10,000 jobs were lost to people, and you can see the kind of hardship. Then again, because the issues that led to the emergency rule were not even addressed, we still have revealing issues of state capture, device across political lines, across ethnic lines. Then again, the question of godfatherism and whether the state belongs to one person or to the governor. All those issues were not properly resolved. So I'm sure that moving forward, a lot needs to be done. But I think uh, this return signals the return of good governance. Good governance, the people miss their governor, is back and they are very happy. It signals accelerated development. It also signals reconciliation. I'm sure all parties are now conscious of the fact that it were better they handle these issues internally rather than introducing some external factors that did not help matters. I'm sure there are regrets on both sides. Yes, they will have fought as brothers and not as enemies. And at the end of the day, so much has gone out of River State that will have been used for the advancement of the state. So I think in terms of losses, so much. But in terms of gains, yes, a lot of lessons have been learned. I'm sure people will be cautious. Yes, those who felt that power was absolute, and with power they can grab everything, they are also seeing that there are limitations to everything. And for the governor too, I'm sure he must have learned a lot of lessons. He now knows who to trust, who not to trust. He also need to be cautious because for him, he shouldn't be. He should also realize the fact that anything can just happen anytime, because that is the kind of country we are in today. So for me, he should just focus on God and allow God to direct him, and take every step, one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. And I just want to believe that.
All right, Professor Kaba. Now, there have been a lot of questions about
The
Fubara's
sorry,
control or his authority in the state. Now, how much authority and control or legitimacy do you think that Governor Fubara really will have upon his return, given the political fractures in the state? Professor Kaba, can you hear me? All right, it's quite unfortunate. It seems that Professor Kaba is having some audio or network issues. But while we
Yeah,
wait for
are
him,
you hearing me?
we'll go on a break. We'll be
I'm
back
hearing you.
soon.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm
All
hearing
right,
you.
we are getting information that he has connected with us again. So, Professor Kaba, if you can
Yes.
hear me, do I take the question again?
Yeah. Yes. I got your question.
All
Right?
right,
I got your
please
question.
continue.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that very quickly, that given the situation on ground, the House of Assembly made up of people that wanted him out. Secondly, you have local government council elected are not going to be loyal to him. Then only yesterday we heard that the head of the head of service was only appointed yesterday by leaving office in the empty. But I want to also believe that that through genuine reconciliation, I don't want to be pessimistic that because all these persons were appointed, nature has must realize that once they get to a point, it will affect all of them. It should initiate genuine reconciliation, irrespective of who supported them or against him. Who has a better understanding of the political art. They say you stoop to conquer and stability. So I is going to be the empty, going to have some level of emptiness. Is governor, and as governorship is not something ordinary. This is the grace of God that goes. I'm sure this is the time for him to. Is God Almighty, and I'm sure if God leads him, and with the support from as many persons as possible, even the people of Rivers State, the manner they have demonstrated for since yesterday, people have been jubilating here and there, and I'm sure those who thought that if you take Fobra away, his power and influence will be down, they should have a second thought. So I think that is where what I need to say on that. Thank you.
All right. Now we know that accountability is being demanded of the sole administrator. We want to understand what kind of transparent handover audits do you think will convince the people that nothing was mismanaged? Do you think that they would actually need a legislative oversight?
Too much. I will say, move forward. Let the usual civil service procedures, due diligence be applied. Yes, whatever he submits as his stewardship, account of his stewardship, should be subjected to the usual audit. At the end of the day, we begin to hammer on the fact that let us audit him. Let us audit him. You see that we wasted a lot of time. Rather, let them just pick the pieces wherever they are, and move on at what went wrong and all that. Those things you can amend, you amend them. Those things you manage, you manage them. And definitely 2 years is still there. I do known by everybody. Popular that was elected with all the full powers. So many persons have shown interest at federal and state, and to see how you can wriggle out of all of this and do the best for the people. Hello?
All right, Professor Kabak, are you still with us?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right. Now, I'd like to ask, do you think that given that 6 months of his tenure was taken away by the emergency rule, that it is right for him to ask for 6 months after his tenure to complete what was taken away initially? Do you think that it can work, or it's something that is feasible given the political situation in Rivers State? Professor Okaba, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so I will take that question again if that's all right.
No, yes. What did you say? Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you. All right, I said earlier about the 6 months, given that 6 months has been taken away from his
Now, what
tenure
did you
as
say?
the
I didn't get
governor
the
of
question you
Rivers
asked.
State. Now that he has been reinstated as the governor, would it be right for him to ask for the 6 months that was taken away from him to complete his tenure? Do you think it is something that is feasible, given Rivers State's political atmosphere?
I have some antecedents. Peter B's case in Anambra, and a few. There's nothing that is not possible. So I think already people are thinking around that area. But for now, I think let him settle down. Let him settle down. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. It should concentrate on reconciliation and good governance. And sure, even some of the persons be on the side of saying that, look, let there be extension, despite the people of Rivers State, the residents of Rivers State, and let's just go on. That's for now. Thank you.
All right, Professor Kaba, before we let you go, I would like to know, given that security concerns were one of the reasons for the emergency rule, in your opinion, what would you say is your assessment of the situation now, as at the time of the emergency rule, given the 6 months? How would you assess the security situation in the state? Was there any visible strengthening of the security around the key state institutions during the emergency rule?
There was no need for any emergency. I will continue to say it. All these were orchestrated to remove him so that they can have absolute power. Nothing changed, nothing was threatening. They referred to some explosions. And we knew that those explosions were so and all that, it has all been the same. These were just dramatic performances, just to capture state and economic and political power. So that's just the answer. I think nothing has changed about that. No need. Rather, things went worse. The health situation went worse. Economic situation, there was stagnation in the state and in the region as a result of that. So many things were badly affected by the emergency rule. The emergency rule did not change anything for good. It brought darkness to the states and to the people of this state. Even the issues that were canvassing, like I said earlier, that disagreements here, were they resolved? They were not resolved. If they were just some kind of some level of imposition. And because we have found ourselves in a nation where prioritizing development has been overshadowed by the pursuit of personal interest and aggrandizement. We just take them as part of the polity, the kind of democracy we have decided to practice in this country and condone in this country. But nothing warranted emergency rule. Nothing.
All right, Professor Kaba, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right, Rivers politics, quite a number of times has been described with issues, especially with that of Wike and Fubara. Do you think reconciliation is something realistic Do you think it's possible for them to, actually have an understanding?
It's possible. It's very, very possible. Every and has the capacity of being reconciled, because yes, they had one singular, a purpose, and at some point, as far as I'm concerned, there were misunderstandings as to how to address those purposes, those particular purpose or goal. So now that they are themselves in this, where this was your idea and this was my idea and this has brought us this way. Let us come together and see how we can have this in 50-50 or in a manner that will be beneficial to all of us and the state. Also realizing the fact that there are some regrets as to people saying that, no, I want it this way, thought it going to be this way, that I needed. Did I actually was appointed? Did he even satisfy my ambition? And throughout the sole administrator's reign and all that, did I get all that I wanted to get? These are factors that should make them sit down and think of the betterment of the people of the state and also democracy, because one of the losses we've had is incidents. This has actually given a dent to our democracy. So going forward, it's both parties in the house and all that. Let us be loyal, learn to we have sworn oaths of office to serve, it should be supreme. And the moment that is, we'll pray that they should reconcile. Thank you.
All right, now, Professor Kaba, just before we round up, like you mentioned about democracy, many Rivers people felt that their votes didn't count when their governor and lawmakers were suspended. Now, how do you think that this has affected the people's trust in democracy, especially the Ijaw people?
It's very obvious, and for no good reason. He got himself suspended, and in spite of the cries of the people, instead of appeals, instead of protests, well-meaning sustained genuine protest by men, women, and those power still felt they should do what they need to do. So where is the trust? Where is the government now, the government of the people and by the people? And going back, what happened to the local government, is going to get 23, this will get 2, and all that. And that's about 2 weeks before the elections. And that was what I played out. So why will you trust that system? That just happen. If I even characterize the system as being democratic, or that it's just been selective, it's just been some government of a few, and all that. In practice, democracy in principle, but in practice, are we actually practice democracy? Do the voice of the people, majority, is it respected? So these are questions that are begging for answers. And I think at this point, Nigerians going ahead to 2027 should be conscious of all of this. Because if we want to have a government that must stand for the people, then some of these issues must be addressed by all of us moving forward. And because, again, if we must develop, if we must elevators of poverty or mis we encounter on a daily that are truly committed to deepen democracy, lead of the people, and not that of some a selected few that we're experiencing in some part of the country.
All right, thank you, Professor Benjamin Ogele Okaba. Even with the network glitch, I took some insight from what you said. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.
All right, that is where we draw the line on that conversation concerning River State and Fubara's return this morning. And you're still watching Signature Morning. Thank you so much for staying with us. This is where we end it. Okay, well, I'm going to go on a short break. When we return, we'll continue.
We are local.
The international community is observing
Why the main market is in chaos. People are...
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye.
Aye. We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.